Welcome back. In this video we're going to be working on the Mech foot now. So I'm just switching to split screen mode again. I'll just turn back wireframe on. I'm just going to hide these pieces real quick. I don't want to be distracted by anything. So like everything else, we're going to start off with a cube. Just going to move everything into position. I'm going to go into what is called cube 3 and put in the width area 3, in the height leave it as 1, and in the depth 2. That should give us enough polygons for the time being. So I'm just going to scale up now to make sure everything's roughly matching the image. You notice that I didn't scale up all the way to the side. We're going to do something differently. So we're selecting these faces and we're going to extrude out to give it some dimension, roundness to it. You can see now this way too blocky. So it's going to go into X-ray. I'm just going to use these the lines to guide me. Excuse me. I'm just looking at it from perspective view, making sure everything's okay. What I'm going to do now is going to select this face. I'm just going to pull straight out. I'm not going to extrude, I'm just going to pull. You can see now how quickly this starts simply pulling out a simple face gives you the shape almost instantly. Excuse me. I'm just going to scale in a bit. I'm just selecting these bits here, just trying to match it up to the image. Just using the lines to guide me. I'm going to do the same thing here, just like we did before. I'm just going to use this and pull it up. I'm going to select these two faces, I mean these birds here, just put them down a little bit. They're looking way too high before. I'm just creating a try here because you can see that this one quad is being pulled very it has an extreme pull to it. So rather than leave it the way it was, we're just going to create a triangle to resolve some of the oddness. Here you can see just start simply adding that to fix these things. Because it was just too much of an extreme angle for that quad to maintain its shape. So I'm just selecting these faces, top faces here. I'm going to pull out, it's this one. This is the thing I mentioned earlier about having to using your artistic judgment. If you look at the image reference, that protective joint protector is obscuring some of the a good portion of the actual foot itself. So, and I'm gonna have to use my imagination as to how those bits should be. I mean, as long as your work is pretty close, then consider that job well done. It doesn't have to be 100% spot on because that's damn near impossible to achieve that, especially in 3D. So I'd say somewhere around 80 to 90% should be sufficient. I mean, you have to look at things like the depth of view that a lot of 3D apps have. Your reference images might not be 100% accurate, stuff like that. So bear that in mind. I'm just tweaking these back bits now. They're just looking a little too round for my liking. Just gonna square them off. I'm just pulling these weights down just to give you a little bit of roundness, but not too much. You can see how the shape's really starting to come together now. And really haven't put too much time into it. Like I said, just try and use your polygons to the effectively. So what you just noticed there, just duplicated over the front piece of the foot. The reason being, if you look at the back is almost very similar to the front piece. So creating a separate piece from scratch again will be not only will it be uh, wasting time, but using this method, you have two pieces that are very similar in size, depth, and polygon count. It'd be difficult to recreate that. I wouldn't say impossible, but quite hard to recreate it again. But with this way, you have everything matching up right off the bat. You can just see just minor tweaks, and I'm just performing. Yeah, I'm just straightening out some of these edges. This using the same old method of using the scale tool. That's the thing about 3D apps. You only be using just a couple of tools really. I mean, especially if you want to focus on just simply modeling. I mean, the main tools you'll be using are definitely the move, scale, and rotate, and the extrude edge, extrude face, and the insert edge loop tools and merge tools, the merge vertex tool. And those seem to be the only ones I use. I think there's about 6 or 7 tools at the very most. So I'm just deleting these edges here. Whoops. Looks like I had one selected by mistake. So I'm going to delete these edges here. Because the quad here isn't being pulled to an extreme as it was on the front piece. So I'm just going to have to make a couple of tweaks here. Just checking at it, just looking at it from all angles. That's the thing. That's the way I work. I'm always checking in perspective view. You can very easily make a mistake in the flat orthographic views. So I'm just pulling these edges back. I'm just using the lines on the reference image. If you can see here, I'm just pulling back to these where these lines are. Doing the same thing for the other side. This pulling back to where the lines would meet. Once again, I'm just going to look at it from perspective view and just notice something's off. Yep, I'm going to have to tweak these. You can see this is a prime example of what looks good in 2D doesn't always translate well in 3D. You can see I'm having a little bit of trouble here with these parts. So I might have to improvise a bit down here. Then it's going back to the front piece again. What I'm doing now is I'm adding edge loop. Oops. It's not going to let me do that. Excuse me. I think it's because I got these tries here that's causing the problem. No, that's not it. I'm just gonna go in manually and cut it in instead using the split polygon tool. Because what I'm doing now is if you look at the image plane image references, it's the foot has got this border to it which goes all the way around. That's what I'm trying to create here. Excuse me. So that's what I'm trying. That's what I'm trying to get here. Is just recreating this this border type edge. I may have to add a couple of edge loops because you can see here there's definitely some plane changes here, and I just don't have enough polygons as it is to recreate that. So all I did was just insert just a single edge loop. So I'm just selecting these faces here. I'm just going to extrude out to give it some thickness to it. Oops. Excuse me. Just scale out a bit. That's much better. Now you can see now how much more more accurate it is. I mean, there's a couple of verts I have to tweak here and there, but it'll get there. You can see now this gives me the verts I need. The polygons I need to pull out the side bits. So it's looking a little odd, but we'll fix it. And this freezing transformations. All I did was just move the back part because it was obstructing my view. So I'm just going to pull these bits up. This way can the front area now. Like I said, it's like I've been saying all along. It's just basically a constant tug of war. So I'm just adding a couple of edge loops because I didn't have enough to create that, for it to match up in the front area. At this insertion, I used the split polygon tool just to insert those two couple edges. So now I'll quickly undo that. And then give me the results out at what I liked. Some things you have to do by a trial and error method. It isn't a big deal. I mean, let's see what works and what doesn't. I'm doing this whitening out this part. So this putting the weight so it matches the image a little better. It's looking much better now that I've scaled the front part out. I think that's what was giving me all the problems because it was far too yeah, it's much better. Just simply by scaling it out a bit, this seems has made a world of difference. So I'm just gonna flatten out these bottom bits here because they're too rounded. Just gonna use the old scale trick. Repeat these bits here, they're looking they're not looking right. I'm just pushing this bit up. Just trying to match the image as best as possible, as you can see. Just looking at it from all angles. Just looking at the I have to definitely fix that bit there. I'm just going to do the same thing I've been doing before, just going to work on one half. Because you can see the other half looked a little nasty to me, rather than just spend time fixing it, I'll just work on the good side. I'm just going to straighten up these edges here. You can see by trying to align it in one view, that messed it up on the other, so and be careful of doing that. Like I said, on something as complex as this, and you wanna make sure that you just be careful with trying to match it up too closely. because these images aren't 100% like I've been saying from the start. I mean, they're pretty good as they are, but finding a image that's 100% accurate is impossible. So I'm just doing the same thing as I do with the front part. I'm just tweaking these verts. You can see now that the front part's looking much better now. So I've just inserted an edge loop here. I want to create this border type bit. Same thing we did with the front, I'm just doing at the back now. I'm just extruding out. Just doing some more pushing. So now I'll go back into so I'm just going to turn off X-ray mode. Just putting everything back in. Just want to see how everything looks as a whole. You can see now how quickly things are starting to come together now. The foot's looking much nicer now. Just rotating around, just making sure everything's fine. Excuse me. And that's hit everything again. So what I'm going to do now is just duplicate over the other side. Okay, I'm just going to make just a couple minor tweaks. Because I noticed if you look at the image, the foot's got this little bit of a lip to it. So let's not try and recreate that. So let's duplicate it over on the other side. Excuse me. Just tweaking some of these words. Just keeping my eye on both viewports, just trying to make sure. I'm just trying way too hard trying to get them to match up in both viewports. I'm just undoing some of the stuff I just did just now. Excuse me. Now it's looking much better now. So now go into perspective, just make a just take a couple looks at it. I'm gonna have to fix this bit. I'm just tweaking the widths. Again, just using the lines on the drawing to tell me where the width should be. Excuse me. Just tweaking the width some more. We're happy with the edge flows, so I'm just trying to fix those up. Yeah, I think I messed this bit up when I scaled in, so I'm just gonna tweak these real quick. It's starting to look much better now. I'm just gonna duplicate over this side now. Checking it from all angles. See, it's looking much better now. So again, I'm just gonna check in relation to all the other components. Yeah, I'm much happier with this as it is now. Excuse me. So this delete that edge there. Excuse me. Just gonna do it on the. I'm just gonna duplicate over the side again because I made that quick change. Because the edge loop weren't really adding anything to the overall shape, so I just thought I'd get rid of it. Actually, by doing it, I think that it looks much better. As you can see from the front now, it's matching up much. It looks much nicer now. So I'm just combining both edges. I'm sorry, both meshes. Just merging the edge. Again, I'm deleting all the history on it. I'm just rotating around, checking things. Making sure it matches up to the image as possible. What I'm doing now is just a quick little thing now. If you look at the reference images, these two separate components of the foot are actually joined by by this joining connective piece here. So that's what I'm doing. You can see from the reference image, just between the two pieces, you can see like a smaller connective piece. I'm just trying to model that in now. Nothing too major, just a simple shape should suffice. So I'm just inserting two. I'm sorry, I'm just creating two edge loops. I'm going to select the top face and I'm just going to extrude up. Just tweak these bits. So next scale them out a little bit more. Excuse me. There we go. We got a connected piece now. So now I'm gonna have to push this into place. Sorry, slide it into place. And take a quick look at it. So I'm just deleting everything and just saving, just making regular saves. You can see just how easy it is to create intricate pieces just from a simple cube, rather. So yeah, just taking a look at it from the front view, making sure everything's lining up. Um, Switch to the side view, you can see looking pretty damn nice.